I was recruited by the CIA to help out with counterterrorism because there was insider trading in advance of the 9/11 attack. That's obvious. The last 2 trading days before 9/11, there was 286 times the average daily volume of put buying on American Airlines. When you buy a put, it's a bet that the airline's going to go down. So that's like statistically, that's like a guy who orders a sandwich for lunch every day, and then one day he orders 286 sandwiches. Well, it's not him. There's something going on. And that's been well studied. And what the CIA said is, okay, it wasn't their job to run that down. That was the FBI and the SEC had to go find the bad guys there. But what the CIA said was, okay, if there were another spectacular attack being planned, a 9/11 style attack being planned, would there be insider trading again? Could you detect it? Could you trace it to the source, get a FISA warrant, break down the door, break up the attack, and save lives? That was our mission. We called that Project Prophecy. Now, CIA, they didn't need any help spying, but they didn't have the capital markets expertise. So they reached out. They're very good when they know what they don't know. When they don't know something, they'll reach out. So I was one of the people invited in to bring in the capital markets expertise to help them figure this out. And over time, I actually got more and more involved, became a co-project manager, and ended up, along with a couple others, leading this Project Prophecy. And we answered all the questions. We said, yeah, there will be insider trading. You can spot it. You can't. We built a system to detect that. But in the course of doing that, pardon me, I learned statistical techniques that I wasn't familiar with as a lawyer. Because I wasn't, as I said, I wasn't a trader or a quant, including Bayes' theorem, sometimes called causal inference, and complexity theory. Well, the more I got immersed in that, the more I realized that could be applied to other things. We were using it for counterterrorism, but it could be used for predictive analytics in geopolitics and predictive analytics in capital markets. Normal politics, I was in Australia, New York, a week before the U.S. election, saying Trump's going to win and getting laughed at in my face.
Yeah,
but
you did predict
I have all the videotapes. The great thing about doing television, you get the timestamp videotape so you can prove it. But I was using this Bayes' theorem. I was using statistical method to make that forecast. It wasn't just because I was a partisan. I was like, no, there's very good evidence that he's going to win. Same thing with Brexit. I was in the London Eye on June 20th saying short sterling, buy gold, because I could see that the markets were priced for Remain, and if Leave wins, you got to reprice those two things. And so we're getting very good results with this. So I went on this 10-year intellectual odyssey to figure out what works. I did it, and pardon me. So that's the methodology I've been using, and I talk about it all in the book. I explain it all, and it's not. There are a few equations, but it's not heavy on the quant stuff. It's pretty plain English.
Continue watching this fascinating conversation for free by clicking on the link below to visit our website, learn from the best minds in the world, and connect with a community of passionate people building the best versions of themselves. Just click on the link below, and I'll see you on the inside.